A bound block of paper pages or a gigabyte of digital pages that they make you look like pages but are not actually pages at all, with little words by Tim Hawkins printed on them? What exactly are these babblings you have stumbled upon? The inner monologue of a madman? The metaphorical midnight tipping of a comedy cow? The random musings of a comedic observer? The answer to at least one of these is, well, yes. You bet your sweet Bippy. I'm not a betting man and I don't own a Bippy. Never have. Don't even know what that means. It would be a weird conversation to overhear in Vegas, though. Hey, who's that guy at the roulette wheel? I'm not sure, but he just bet his Bippy. What? Are you serious? I am. Sweet. That's right. That man just bet his sweet Bippy. But yes, the answer is yes. I'm not sure I actually remember the question. So back to the babblings, I guess. You're about to read a book of excerpts from my extremely private comedy journal. Here's the deal. For the past 20 years, I've been writing almost everything down that I think is funny. That doesn't necessarily mean others think it is funny, but then again, I don't necessarily care about the simple basic rules of social etiquette or that annoyingly over-enforced rule that says I have to drive on the right side of the road and stay seated while I do so. People often ask me how I write comedy. It's simple. I didn't say easy, I said simple. I listen a lot and I write everything down. Then I come back to it later and see if I can find the funny. Sometimes it works, sometimes, not so much. Point being, when I come across something funny, my personal process is to find anything I can write on and capture the moment. Kmart receipts, napkins, toilet paper, gum wrappers, tiny strips of paper that come out of corporate document shredders, breadsticks, garden hoses, a waiter's white dress shirt. While he is still wearing it, they should really come up with better ways to take notes. But for now, you're about to read random pieces of my comedy journal over the past 20 years. And when I say random, I mean I didn't even take the time to arrange the entries in chronological order. You're welcome. Some things you may recognize from my shows and some you may not. You may have never even seen one of my shows. Or in other words, you may be a normal, law-abiding citizen. I intend to change that right here, right now. Cue Motivational Mental Van Halen soundtrack or the Pepsi One commercial from the 1990s. I've been told the top 3 best-selling books of all time besides the Bible are, number 1, The Purpose-Driven Life, number 2, Left Behind, and number 3, Everyone Poops. I'm not sure this book will come in 4th place, but you never know until you try, which, ironically enough, would have been a perfect subtitle for Everyone Poops. You see, I do comedy for a living. You heard me right, a living. Trust me, most days I'm as amazed as you are, especially since I'm just a jackwagon. Sometimes people treat me like I'm some kind of rock star, but I think that's silly. I'm no rock star. I just like to laugh with people, knowing we're all the same. We're no different. The only difference between me and you is that I have a microphone and talent. Those are the only 2 things that separate me from you commoners. So yes, I do this for a living. And it's some of those living parts I'm about to babble on about. Family, culture, music, parenting, education, and yes, perhaps even the occasional Bippy. Don't we all have people in our lives that we're not quite sure why they're in our lives? People you just have to stop and ask, why do I know you? Just get out, get out. Mom. Yeah, too many people in my life already, which is why I also have no desire to be famous. I have enough trouble dealing with the people I know, like know-it-alls. Those people who read something on the internet and then patiently wait for social get-togethers as they provide prime opportunities to release their worthless knowledge on innocent partygoers. Avocado, it's a fruit. Yeah, fruit. Tomato, it's a fruit. Look, if it can't be a Starburst flavor, it ain't a fruit. Okay, Smacky? That's my little fruit test. Or these people who use superlatives for everything. That's the best. That's absolutely amazing. This deer sausage is unbelievable. Really. Unbelievable. Now, if a bald eagle wearing a tuxedo swooped down and dropped a piece of deer sausage in your mouth, yeah, that would be unbelievable. Because that's a bald eagle wearing a tux dropping deer sausage into your gob. You don't see that every day, unless you're a homeschooler. They see things like that all the time. I'm talking about a normal person. Here's all I'm saying. That piece of meat, while delicious, is extremely believable. Or the phrase, that's the worst. If you live in the first world, I don't think you should be allowed to say that's the worst about anything in your life. My wife and I dropped our daughter off at the mall recently, and her friends weren't there yet to meet her. So my daughter was like, oh no, my friends aren't here yet.